Warning! We're about to spoil Lupin III, the Fuma Conspiracy. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan on watching it, leave now and come back later. But if you have seen it, or you just don't care, then please, stick around. Goemon will be back any day now.
One eternity later.
Goemon will be back any day. I can feel it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Cinema Roulette. Oh boy, we are back at it with the series wheel, and have we got one for you today? This is one that I am so excited to be back
No, we don't.
Okay.
Banner! Oh, my pen.
How many times are we gonna do that?
I don't know, I think we've done it like 6.
Yeah.
Out of 200 episodes, that's not bad.
Not at all. Not a bad run. But yes, I'm very excited to be on this series again.
I am too. It's been a good while since we've been on this series.
Oh yeah, but any other preamble you need to get out of the way? Get off your chest beforehand.
I technically have preamble, but it won't make sense till the cut.
Okay. You know what? That's 100% fair. So let's get to that aforementioned cut and talk about Lupin III, the Fuma Conspiracy.
What a lovely silence.
Oh, beautiful silence.
At the moment when we're recording, episode 118 is out. Or not 118, 218. 118 is also out.
Well, technically, yes.
But we have not been with Lupin since 128. It's been over 90 episodes since we've covered Lupin.
Jeez Louise, man. That's insane. It's been nearly...
And now that we're with Lupin, we have a new background done by Moose.
Yes, check that out. That's a hot background right there by Moose. Yeah, I love it. We've been wanting to do a Lupin background for quite some time now, and we're so glad we get to show that off in the YouTube version and in the thumbnail.
Even though it's a bit more squished.
But you still get to see it at least. So, yeah, and also, what was the name of the user, by the way, that was excited for us to review this movie?
Atomic Jetter.
Ah.
All the way back on the Mystery of Mamo episode, which was episode 77. Their comment is from 5 years ago.
Jesus Christ. So are you back in it now, or should we say that again?
Yeah, I will have probably cut in there.
Okay. But it's crazy. So we have not... Well, hey, after all this time, we're finally following up, so there you go, buddy.
After 5 years, we've gotten to the 4th movie in this series.
Isn't that something? Thanks, Wheel. Love ya.
Well, 3 of those years were time travel shenanigans.
Yes, there were.
But still.
Good God. 5 years goes by so quickly.
Thanks, Atomic Jetter. Hope you're listening to this episode. Or not. You have free will.
Yep. He'll find this 5 years later. But, yeah. Let's get into it then, shall we?
Yeah, and we will say for this one, if you are going to watch the Lupin movies, watch the sub of this one. The dub is not great.
Yeah, there's a couple of characters that are passable, but like it's not the classic cast that you know and love. It's someone completely different, and like I just couldn't deal with it. Did you watch the whole thing?
I skipped ahead to because I technically watched it twice because I stopped taking notes at one point, but I jumped to where I needed to take notes.
Yeah. Okay. So it was after a certain point. I didn't know if that was just throughout the whole thing or okay.
Yeah, it was a bit after the. This will make sense in a moment. The train escape.
Got it. Okay.
So we open at a wedding, Goemon's wedding. Everything is going lovely. Lupin, Fujiko, Jigen, all there. They're all enjoying drinks while the ceremony is happening. I don't know how weddings work in Japan. It's a cultural thing. But Goemon goes up to the main temple, and the priest or whoever is doing the ceremony is like, "You will no longer be part of your clan and instead be joining ours." And then ninjas happen. Ninjas come down, and they are the most 80s looking ninjas for a cartoon. It's great.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
Goemon, of course, fights them off. They are trying to steal the family vase. Like, this is all part of the ceremony. It's very important to the family. They try to steal the vase. Goemon fights them off. However, the ninjas do take his bride to be with their fucking jetpacks, because of course ninjas have jetpacks. Why wouldn't they?
Exactly. Makes sense. You shut up.
Also, Lupin and Fujiko and Jigen all get involved to stop them from stealing the vase, but none of them were. Jigen even tries to reach for his pistol, but didn't have it because it was a wedding, so he's just aiming at the air, pulling an invisible trigger. Sadly, they get away. We learn a bit more about that this family has been from a bunch of past inventors. Like, they basically had modern machinery before everyone else, and this vase helps lead to a secret treasure. Because it's a Lupin movie. Of course there's a treasure.
Exactly.
We also cut to the absolute Chad, Zenigata.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
It turns out Lupin apparently died in some boat chase incident where the boat exploded, and Zenga, assuming he was dead, became a monk, and was praying for Lupin's soul, so that way when he is reincarnated, he may come back as a better man.
Yes.
However, this dickweed comes up and is like, yeah, Lupin's alive. Here's a photo. We should go get him. And with his love of back in the game, he goes and chases. Also, while the priest of the wedding is also the father of Goemon's bride, and he tells Goemon all why they were trying to steal the vase and whatnot. Lupin and Jigen are using their little gadgets to listen in, and then Lupin sends a spider down to steal the vase from a safe, and they discover a secret map on the back of it. The ninjas are saying, we will trade the girl for the safe, and Lupin, Jigen, and Goemon all agree, like, yeah, that's a fair trade. Let's go save your wife. Oh, my dog wants to come in so bad, but there's no space on my bed.
Aww.
I can't open the door because, it's the middle of the night and people are sleeping.
Yeah.
They go to a trade at a train station, basically using the turntable. They put the vase on one end, Goemon's wife on the other, and they spin the thing. However, Zenigata shows up, so the deal's already going kind of bad. I forget how, but they basically launch the vase up to go back to themselves, so that way they get the girl and the vase.
Lupin has it on a fishing rod.
That's right. Classic fishing line.
Yep.
And Jigen this whole time hotwired one of the steam trains, and they get the hell out of there. Also, we saw the ninjas suddenly dressing into cop uniforms when the cops showed up. Interesting. Maybe they were just well prepared. There couldn't be a mole or something. We also cut back to the father. If you're wondering why I'm not going to say the old man's name or Goemon's wife, Goemon's wife does get a name. They hardly ever say the father's name.
Yeah.
But don't worry, when they show up again in the series, I will say their full names. But we cut back to the father, and he moves He tears away a piece of paper as there's this box with a keyhole on a cliffside, and he shoots it with a shotgun. Okay.
All right.
Also during this time, Fujiko actually follows the Fuma gang back to their hideout. Goemon also tells Lupin and Jigen to fuck off because it's clear that they just want the treasure. He's like, I want to protect my wife, please.
Yeah.
However, his wife runs up and is like, oh, you want to go see the hidden treasure? Me and Lupin were talking all about it. Anyway, bye Goemon. Lupin and Jigen leave. Also, the wife got a change of clothes in the back of Lupin's car, which is his red jacket from part 2 in the manga.
Ah.
Because currently he's in his, what was season 1 of Lupin with the green coat and yellow tie.
Yep, season 1.
Which I told Old Moose to do that as the main version of the background, even though in most of the movies it's the red suit.
It is, and we happened to land on one where it was the green suit.
Luckily, and also luckily it's easy to change. If you look at past Lupin episodes on podcasting apps, I did update the background to be this new one.
Oh, nice.
Also, you probably saw the Gold of Babylon. If you watched the 200th episode, it's in the whole title card thing for the Gold of Babylon moment.
Wow.
Anyway, I keep getting tangents here.
You're good.
But Lupin and Jigen are gonna go find Fujiko because Lupin gave her a necklace that has a tracking device in it. However, Fujiko is off doing what she normally does, getting caught. Also, Fuma finds the map on the back. Fuma still got the vase during the whole train thing, and they do discover the map on the back, so now everyone knows where the secret treasure is.
Yes, we have all discovered where it is, and there's a fun image of a mountain.
Which, that of course makes it super easy to find a mountain in Japan.
Yeah, I know there was like Japanese writing on it and stuff, but like just like a mountain drawn on a vase. It is here. Well, a mountain's big. That could be like probably like a mile long stretch.
Also, how long has the mountain been there? You know, the world could shift in ways. Anyway.
Yeah. Semantics.
Here. They caught Fujiko, they shove her in the attic, and they also put the vase on her head because, like, we don't need it anymore. We have the map.
Yeah.
Lupin and Jigen try to track down Fujiko. Oh, also, while Fujiko's captured, we see the main cop that got Zangan in the first place. He's actually working with the Fuma clan, and they have a sharp sting, and Fujiko wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
She's never really seen... She saw this guy at the wedding, but didn't know he was a cop.
It's just this random sting. It's so weird.
It's supposed to be a surprise for the audience, but it's just kind of funny because it's like, I don't know who you are.
That would have been a funny gag, though.
That would have been good. And that guy stole the necklace from her and goes to talk to the absolute Chad, Zenigata. So Lupin and Jigen end up at the police station, and then an amazing car chase happens.
Oh, so good.
They go around a cliffside. There's, of course, construction. They fly off the cliff. They end up in some bathhouse, and the cars are so small that they're able to go up and around the ramps and through the ponds. And there's just so much fun chaos.
Yeah, it is one of the most chaotic chases up until this point.
There was a bit of a car chase earlier when Zanga noticed them driving to the vase trade. But that was just a small one. It's not this big one.
Yeah, that was just a little taste of what was to come.
Come. I'm mature.
Shut the fuck up. That should not have made me laugh that hard. Anyway.
Luckily, Fujiko has escaped her kidnapping by using her sex appeal and a headbutt with the vase, which does shatter the vase into a million pieces, but discovers a key. We will call this the MacGuffin. But since she was able to escape and has this secret key, he comes in, saves them from Zangai. Zangai gets hit by a train. You know, usual, he's fine. Cut to the secret cave entrance. The Fuma clan has made it here first, and they open up the door, but The father is waiting inside with a shotgun, and he's like, "Get the fuck off! I'm gonna shoot you, evil Fuma clan leader." They never say his name. He's just the leader.
He's just the leader.
Do you know an '80s bad guy from a cartoon? Yeah, you probably have an idea of what this dude looks like.
Yeah.
However, he has the power of money, and he flicks a coin so hard it knocks the shotgun away long enough for them to tackle the old man. They're like, "Tell us how to get to the treasure." "No." "Okay." And then they throw him off a cliff. "Sure, fine."
All right. That's how it works.
So they're going in, and Goemon and his wife show up because they want to go make sure the Fuma clan doesn't steal all the money. They walk into the cave entrance, and then Goemon's wife falls through the floor and almost into a spike trap, but luckily, falling in here, they were able to find a lever that opens a secret door that leads them the right way.
Like you do.
We'll get to it.
We will. Oh, we will.
The Fuma gang, since they're ninjas, are sneaking behind them and like basically letting them go through all the traps, and they'll just follow. Lupin and Jigen finally arrive with Zangief following right behind them, but they're already up the mountain, and the absolute Chad Zangief is on the ground floor with the police force. Also, before they ran from the cops, Lupin pointed out, like, "Hey, that dude's double-crossing you."
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Come on, man.
He had a dramatic sting for the audience.
Exactly.
But Zangief has his army, and he's like, "Get up there!" And the absolute Chad that he is, he rushes up the mountain faster than anyone else that we've seen so far, and also more than any of the police officers there.
Yeah.
And all of them are winded by the time he gets up there.
He is just driven by his need to capture and chase Lupin.
Oh my god, just Kit.
I know, right?
However, before they charge into the cave, one of them goes, "Hey, there's a guy down there!" And it turns out the father survived because there was a river below, so, water plus any height equals no fall damage. We cut back to Goemon and his wife, and they're in a room with a bunch of what seem to be gold statues, but they quickly realize, oh, that's wood. But all the statues look towards the floor, and they find a secret panel which leads to another way down. However, there's so much dust on the door that clearly no one's been down there in a while, thus the Fuma clan hasn't found this place.
Yep. So they did not go this way.
So Goemon starts to double back with his wife, and then the Fuma clan appears behind them because they're ninjas. So now they are going to use that door. While Goemon's walking back, he runs into Lupin and the gang, so they're all together. Hooray! And also they try to calm Goemon down, like, "Hey, we smashed the safe, but everyone's already here in the secret area, so it doesn't really matter."
Exactly.
And Fujiko winks at the camera as he says, "Useless, huh?" and pulls out a MacGuffin key.
My God, it's
Hey.
building up so much. I wonder what it's going to lead to.
Anyway, hard cut to outside with the absolute Chad Zangief talking to the father, and he's like, "Oh, well, the vase also has a golden key in it, and you need to put it into a box up there in order to stop the place from collapsing within an hour. But I already shot the box, so the place is doomed." And Zangief points out, your daughter's in there." Oh, fuck!
Oh, shoot, someone I know personally is involved. All of a sudden, I care.
Well, I mean, what he originally planned was just these Yakuza dudes die, and they seem like dicks. So,
No, I know. Yeah.
He didn't want to get anyone else hurt.
No.
That is still murder, though.
Yeah, they're ninjas.
Hey, no, you can feel bad about killing a ninja.
Yeah, you
it's
can.
Nazis you don't feel bad about.
Yeah. It'd be hard to kill a fucking
Man,
ninja. How can you kill someone you can't see?
Sorry, you got distracted with killing ninjas and Nazis. I forgot where it was. Oh, yeah, the key is useless, which we hard cut back in to see the key on Fujiko, who is trying to hide it from the group, but needed to have this nice breast shot in, just to make sure we remember the key is there from the cut 2 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
Zenga picks up the old man on his back and they go in to help. There's also the gang faces a trap hallway full of arrows, but Goemon's able to go in and do cool sword shit. The Fuma clan is ahead of them and they get into a courtyard. There's a pair of double doors and some stairs. They send 2 ninjas through double doors and quickly hear violence ensue and go, okay, we're taking the stairs. They send in Goemon alone, and all that's there is just samurai statues. Or like little things holding up armor. And also stinky gas. But the main character can't see. The characters can't see that. We can because we're the audience.
Yeah, that was more for the audience's sake.
But then he finds the dead bodies of the 2 ninjas that went in there. And then the gas starts to hit. And he starts tripping balls, dude. Basically, the gas makes you hallucinate and everyone becomes your enemy. So you'll start attacking each other, or you would try to attack the armor, I assume.
Yeah, well, it either becomes your enemy or something that you fear or something. Like, people see different things. Like, later on, one of the characters sees, like, people's faces melting.
Yeah. They hear... The group hears Goemon kind of freaking out and go in, but he almost attacks them and even ends up slicing his wife's arm. Luckily, they pull him out, and I guess the stuff is kind of weak shit because everyone's fine a few minutes later. However, they're gonna leave Goemon and his wife to have a talk, probably over, you know, the horrors of him actually attacking her, seeing that power towards her. Anyway, we're gonna follow Lupin, Jigen, Fujiko as they go to the giant golden tower that's underground.
Yep. Enough of that.
Anyway, enough of that. I love how Fujiko just goes absolute gold crazy, like just jumps on the roof and starts tearing out the gold tiles.
Yeah.
Jigen goes in and starts grabbing some pure gold muskets. Lupin, however, is a bit dour and kind of confused because the Fuma clan should be here by now. And he steps outside and Fujiko's been captured again.
Of course.
Yeah, they're here and they got arrows pointed at everyone. They say they can't use guns because the cave is too unstable, and yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't know why Jigen doesn't have a gun or use it.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't have one somewhere. I think it was implied because it was a wedding, they were unarmed, but Zeniga still had his sword. I don't know if that was just due to, like, tradition.
Not saying Goemon.
Or Goemon, sorry. Goemon still had his sword. And I don't know if that was just due to the, like, traditional, like, customs or something. But yeah, like, I don't think... Lupin does get his pistol at one point, though. Yeah, why doesn't Jigen shoot? That is weird,
Why
isn't it?
doesn't Jigen have his gun? Like, I know
I didn't even notice that.
Fuma clan said earlier that they shouldn't shoot because of the unstable cave, but Lupin and Jigen never said that. They don't care.
Yeah. Like, that is interesting because he does the finger point thing we mentioned earlier because he does have his gun, but you would think he'd get it at some point. He doesn't. I never noticed that. And he's like the famous gunslinger of the group.
That's like his whole thing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Lupin tries to bluff and first tries to be like, hey, look, there's a whole tower of gold here. We can go halvesies. But he can tell the Fuma clan isn't really going to buy that, so he tries saying that he planned a bomb, but the leader of the Fuma clan does his coin trick again and knocks the lighter out of Lupin's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I also love that they make sure it's a lighter, but Lupin has a lot of gadgets. I'm not sure if they would have known that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they just kind of Lupin. It was another situation where they just Lupin and Jigen just kind of got dragged into this. So I don't know if they even knew about each other.
I mean, Lupin is like a world famous thief. If I was one of them, I would have been like, okay, this looks like a lighter, but it could be a detonator.
Yeah. Instead, they do
but
kind
no,
of just call his bluff. Yeah.
And they think they're fucked, but luckily Goemon shows up. I'm sure after reconciling with his wife or whatever, I'm sure character stuff happened. We get some sick fights. Goemon's fighting the main boss of the Fuma clan. Everyone else runs inside using the gold muskets as batons to fight off ninjas in a smoke fight, which is like they throw in a smoke bomb and they all just fight each other. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Goemon's wife shows up and she sneaks onto the roof to get a crossbow and tries to shoot the boss, but he's the final boss. He's smart and is able to dodge the arrow.
Exactly.
Then the double-crossing cop is chasing after her. Goemon leaves the fight to go help her. However, she's captured. They go on the roof. Also, Lupin and the gang had extra canisters of that hallucinogenic gas, threw it downstairs, so all the ninjas just killed each other. On the roof, they're like, okay, Goemon, we'll kill your wife unless you drop your weapon and kill yourself. Like, just jump into the bombless pit that's inside this mountain.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of the show for that. A lot of media does that. It's just always a weird thing.
It is.
And Goemon's about to do it, and then his wife is just like, no. And the person holding her hostage, she jumps backwards to push them off the edge with her as well. Luckily, Lupin is right below, grabs her as the henchman falls to his doom. Jigen is back by where Goemon dropped his sword, tosses it in the air, and Goemon does cool guy shit to take out the final boss.
Fuck yeah, he does.
The absolute Chad Zangief, who has run up a mountain, run down a mountain to the river, and has now been carrying an old man through this entire obstacle course, still not out of breath, runs into the room and is like, guys, this place is about to collapse. We gotta fucking go.
Zenigata has got to be just ripped from now, just from chasing Lupin all the time. Like, Jesus.
I really hope for a moment in these movies, or maybe even the show, he, like, just gets shirtless and is built like fucking Bruce Lee.
And it's just, yeah.
Just muscle.
Mm-hmm. Was Bruce Lee the right person for that comparison?
Bruce Lee has a bunch of muscle. It's just he's toned.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's
He's
been a
thin,
while.
but if you look at him, that's all muscle.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a Bruce Lee movie, so I always thought he was just kind of on a thinner side with his physique. I forget what his muscles look like.
No, if you look at it's just they don't get as bulbous as
Like
what would normally be muscular.
Yeah. There were even that was
But
that was a man with no fat. All right, moving on.
Anyway, they run the fuck out of there. They do get split up at one point, so that way Lupin gang can run away from Zenigata. Which, even the old man on Zenigata's back is like, you can just let him go.
Yeah.
They didn't steal anything.
Exactly.
They're fine. And Zenigata's like, no, they destroyed a vase. They ran from police. I will get him.
I will charge him with something. Damn it.
They run off. Fujiko also got one tile of the gold, which Lupin's like, wanna shit? No.
Nope.
And Goemon sadly says, due to not protecting his wife, that he needs to train harder and then he will return to her. She kind of gets pissed about this and says, I'm not going to wait for you.
Yeah.
The gang goes off into the sunset. Her father walks up and says he'll be back any day now. These two never show up in the series again.
Yeah.
The end.
Okay. So, Lupin III, the Fuma conspiracy. Now the big question. What do we get out of the way first, the good or the bad?
Bad isn't as long.
Yeah, I feel like we should go with the bad first.
I will also say something funny that makes a continuity error.
Uh-huh.
Lupin, I forget which series, but he does fight the Fuma clan in the series, which is a different clan. It's not the same people like set up earlier.
It has absolutely nothing to do with this. It's just another clan in the series that happens to be called the Fuma clan. That's funny.
Now, I think the worst part is this is so clearly supposed to be Goemon's story. There's supposed to be tension of him choosing to have a wife or be with the gang. And we never get really a moment to see the two be cute together.
It's just kind of not there. Like, it's so weird how it sets this up. Like, that's the whole setup of the movie. It's his wedding, and then it gets interrupted, and then there's the whole conspiracy behind it. And, like, you would think that that would be one of the big focuses of it is Goemon and his relationship with his wife. But nope, the movie does not care.
Yeah, like I said jokingly of, oh, there was character development
Yeah.
back there. It feels like there's supposed to be a beat where Goemon talks to his wife and apologizes for cutting her arm.
Yeah, because just
But we
judging.
don't get that.
Yeah, just judging from his like body language, he's clearly feeling grief and is moping about it, and like he feels terrible because he attacked his wife and should have done better and stuff. And I was waiting for it, and it just kind of never came. It's like, okay, anyway, see you later.
I will also say we do know that this if you look it up online, it's said to be an OVA. It was released theatrically. That's why we are covering it.
Yes, exactly, because it came out before the movie after this, which was Nostradamus. I forget what the full title is.
I think I would have to pull up the list.
Yeah, but it was made before that, and it was actually played in theaters, and I literally just had it pulled up. It was played at Theater Ikebukuro in Tokyo and Tamatsukuri Toho in Osaka. They were two of the theaters that were known to show the OVA, so despite being classed and produced as one, it was released in theaters, so that is why it's on the wheel.
Yeah, because that was the whole point of the Lupin being on here is yes, we could do all of the movies, but we stuck to only theatrically released ones, except for one because technically the sequel was in theaters.
Yes, it's a weird little situation, so.
But even though we understand that, it does feel like the movie just needed a good 20 more minutes to expand on this to give it any sort of tension.
Yeah, because it's a very short movie. It's only an hour 13 minutes, so like 73 minutes.
Yeah.
Very brisk movie, but it feels like, yeah, it almost feels like there was more of a plot there that was kind of cut out. But like, and don't get me wrong, it flows nicely. It's just it's weird how the movie just ignores its main setup.
It literally feels like it just going, yeah, lovey-dovey bullshit. We all know why you're here. You want the heist.
Pretty much, which I respect in a sense, but the way the story was working, I would have liked just a little more of that. Not a lot, not like be the main focus of the movie, but just a bit more.
I would say another problem that's lighter again, which like I get again because OVA, but the villain is nothing.
Yeah, he's not even named in the movie. Literally, like he's just the leader.
It's some guy and he has ninjas and he's being evil.
That's it. Yeah. Like Lupin's had such strong villains, it's just interesting. Like the Fuma clan themselves are cool. The ninjas are rad as shit. But yeah, when it comes to their leader, you'd think it'd be this big over the top guy, but it's just not. Like you said, imagine an '80s villain in a cartoon. That's what he is.
He's bald, if that helps.
Yeah.
I did like when we were watching the movie, you talking about how if there was just this gang leader whose power was money, like using it for attacks and stuff, because that would be amazing.
That would be great if it was like a rich CEO who threw money at people. That'd just be hilarious. But yeah, because his whole thing is he like throws like coins at people and it hits them, and he's really accurate with it. But
is apparently able to flick it hard enough to like send a shotgun back or off target.
Basically, yeah, it's that's his quirk. He has to do something.
I mean, at least it's something that's pretty neat.
It's something, at least. But yeah. But it's just, I think just plot stuff overall is the biggest issue. Same with that weird thing with the key, the MacGuffin that was rendered basically useless.
Yeah, they build up the key of like, ooh, Fujiko has this secret. And then just immediately, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I shot the thing like way before you even found the key.
I shot the lock, so it's useless anyway. So why does the movie keep fucking showing Fujiko with it?
So why'd we need to cut back to it?
Yeah.
And also, I guess she's not counting that as something to sell. I mean, I think a solid gold key would still sell
Yeah,
for something.
it would still be something, not like like actual house, full size house tile, but still.
Also, this is me just being absolutely nitpicky. Where the fuck did she get the necklace for it?
Anyway, who knows, man? Yeah.
We will get to the good, I swear.
Yeah, we
There's
will.
one more little thing. And this, okay, with the movie being an OVA, this is kind of like, if we count TV as fast food and a movie as a restaurant, this is the middle of like that Steak and Shake Portillo's sort of area.
Yeah, where it's not like fast food, like cheap fast, but it's like kind of in between.
And it, with this beat, if I was looking at this as a TV episode, this is an awesome two-parter. This is a great TV episode.
Oh yeah, totally.
As a movie, though, the heist feels kind of lame. It's like that this clan has a bunch of gold. Okay?
Okay. And
That, I mean, for the other movies, we had a whole science lab. We had this big gem that turned into saving a princess,
Yeah.
or a literal golden tower.
built by aliens who then come grab it. Yeah. And like I said, like
And then this
sorry.
is gold.
Yeah, and then this is just gold. We got gold. It's kind of like how in like the Oceans movie where it's like a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah. But it's also like, how is this? All it is just the family has this golden temple. Is it magic? Is it important? Is
Yeah.
Is it all the money your family has? No, we just kind of have it in this secret cave.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no like meaning behind it. Doesn't really tie into the plot as much. There's not really a personal reason or like any like real reason except, oh, we just have treasure because it's valuable.
Because it's a thing. At least in Cagliostro, it's a castle. Of course
Yeah.
they're going to have jewels and shit in there.
Exactly, it makes sense. But yeah, no, it's just we have it underground, and that seems like it would be a really cool Lupin setup. But I feel like they don't do as much as they could have with it.
Yeah, because they also build up that the family, like, is known for their inventions,
Yeah.
and that there should be a lot of traps. But if you've seen an adventure movie before,
Yeah.
it's the normal pits. It's the arrow trap. It's spears coming out of the wall and floor.
Not to mention the stupid idea of the lever to open the door being under the activated trap. What was up with that?
Which also, that segues into, this is more of a nitpick.
Yeah.
The father had to go in there to get to the key place to shoot it. Did he just set up the floor and doors back, or did he put dust down on the one door?
That is true. I don't know. I didn't really think about that.
Actually, turns out there was a way simpler path. If you
Yeah.
just went to the left, there was a secret door, and you just go down some stairs and you're right in the treasure room.
Because that's what I thought initially, where Lupin's like, it's not this way, but then they appear and go down it, because that is the way, because the ninjas were there.
Yeah, it's just... It raises a lot of questions
Yeah.
that the father went through there already.
Yeah, it's a little weird, so... But yeah, overall, there's just a couple of plot issues. But yeah, honestly, it didn't take away too much from my enjoyment of the movie.
Yeah, those thoughts don't come up till after or on a second viewing if you do it like a day after.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the fact that I didn't even realize that Jigen doesn't even use his gun, which should be a red flag, just goes to show that like it is still a really enjoyable movie. Regardless, it's fun to see the characters. They all act like themselves. They're really well done. But yeah, it's just where was I going to go with this? I don't know.
I believe in you.
Why don't we start with the animation? Because the animation is shocking for like the budget.
This is back where, like, if I was counting the villain and the treasure towards TV, the animation is closer to movie. Those fight scenes and the car chase are fucking incredible.
Oh, they're insane, especially on an OVA budget. And fun fact, behind the scenes fact, while I have it, this apparently had a very troubled production.
Really?
Yeah. And it was really good because it says the animation staff decided to focus more on a theatrical style with a theatrical style animation with expressions rather than limited animation with mouth flaps. According to one of the people there whose name is very Japanese, the idea of the film being led by animators was not intentional, as the director left at an early stage, leaving with just storyboards to complete. So the director actually left the film, and it was up to the animators to kind of complete it.
I find that surprising because the director later on made Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
And I could, especially in the car chase when they're in the bathhouse, the energy of the animation there is very Kill la Kill.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it?
Especially when the one cop car gets stuck in the women's bath and the woman just kicks it out and calls him a pervert.
Yeah. This also caused the production schedule to become stricter than a typical anime at the time due to the different format. But apparently the production studio, TMS, was poorly managed at the time and had money issues. One reason was the development hell of Little Nemo and Slumberland, and started to rely on doing outsourced animation for income. So there was apparently a lot of issues behind the scenes with the animation, which is insane considering how well it turned out.
Yeah, animation would have not at any point been a negative to this movie.
No.
Like, yeah, it's a little less than the other movies, but again, OVA budget.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that is absolutely fun about the movie, and like just the animation is so good, and it really adds to that, like to the fight scenes because it's so fluid, and the fight scenes are so fast in it.
Yeah, it's fast. Everything hits really hard. I kind of would have liked a little more gore from Goemon's kills, but I think they were going for a little more kid friendly.
Yeah, just a touch. But yeah, that's all really solid, and it's a fun romp. There's not really much else I can think of right off the top of my head, but yeah, it's a really fun adventure. What else positive you got, Justin?
I do want to say one little fun fact is there's a reason it's set in Japan.
Oh?
They didn't want to have to work off of just photos because they don't have the budget to go travel and like location scout to get an idea. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, we live in Japan. We could just go and drive places if we need reference for anything.
Oh, so yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, so they didn't have to travel to do the like location scouting. They just drove there and did it.
Yeah, they just went on a couple of road trips around Japan, which is really funny to me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because I know they did in fact do some what'd I just call it? Location scouting. I don't know how I forgot that word. They did do it. They actually traveled to Hideo Takayama in the Gifu Prefecture. Was the setting. Kyoto and Himeji were also scouted for information, so they did actually go out and do it. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I also like how loving it is to Lupin already. Like, this is still early Lupin on animation and whatnot, but there's a lot of fun references when I think I already said this in the summary, but when he tells Goemon's wife, "Oh, I have some spare clothes in the back. Pick whatever you like." She puts on a red coat, which is what he wears in part 2 and in the manga.
Exactly. And when they're tripping balls, Lupin's design actually switches between the 2 movies and the shows that were made. Or the 3, I guess.
It quickly changes for all the ninjas to different faces. There's just little nods and love letters to the series already.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And you could tell that the people behind this absolutely loved it.
I still love Zanga. He's a lot of fun. And I like so how driven they show him to be. Like, he was literally just at pure peace knowing Lupin was dead.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then it was like, I need to go back. I need
Yeah.
to go in.
It was like he had like refound his purpose in life. I love that fucking moment in the OVA where like they see each other in the car like ha 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 ha, and then he like you just see his face light up for a sec like he's overjoyed. That switches Lupin. It's so funny.
Didn't you have a fun fact about the monk opening?
Yes, I did. That monk opening because if you'll, I feel like this isn't too heavy on spoilers because it's right at the beginning of Mystery Yamamo. Lupin turns out
I
to
think
be.
because we've already talked about
Yeah.
the ending of Babylon, so
That's true. Because at the beginning, Lupin is hanged, and the whole setup of the movie is he goes after him, tries to make sure he's dead because he knows he's not dead. But the subplot of him becoming a monk was inspired by a deleted scene from The Mystery of Mama where he's working at a temple after he hears Lupin is executed. So they kind of reused that deleted idea from part one, or not part one, but the first movie.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Also, I'll just say, when it comes to spoilers, we try not to do other movies, but for Series Wheel, we are allowed to talk about the
Yeah.
past movies in the series.
Exactly. And I feel like this wouldn't be a spoiler anyway because it's literally the opening scene of the movie.
Such a weird... Mystery Yamamo's such a weird fucking movie.
It is. It's so weird, but it's so fucking good. And I feel like it sets the tone just right because Lupin gets really weird later, but like this just shows how weird Lupin is willing to get, basically.
Actually, this has probably been the most straightforward of all the movies.
Of all the adventures, this probably is like the simplest plot, yeah. And it's weird because it's one of those things, and I forget if I mentioned the copyright thing before in any of the other episodes, but the name Lupin was not allowed to be used in a lot of the English dubs and overseas because there was some copyright thing with it. So he was either called Wolf or Rupon, which is really weird.
Yeah, that was very weird in the when I rewatched in the dub. I was like, so did they just overcorrect it? They're like, well, in Japan sometimes L's can sound like R's, so
no, it was thankfully nothing like that. It was just copyright. Let's get something that sounds like Lupin, so we just did the thing where he changed the first letter.
I'm also realizing I want to say like the characters were good, and they were for what the story is, but it does feel like no one actually Zanga is probably the most three-dimensional character in this movie.
Yeah, and like we've seen Lupin and Jigen and all them before, so we know their characters already. So like they're still really good. But yeah, I think you're right. It's definitely about. It's weird because it's like about Goemon, but it's at the same time not about Goemon.
Yeah, he doesn't go through an arc or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I guess technically he did because he decided to go back and train and be with the gang. But otherwise, there's nothing that really built to that. It's just, yeah, no, we have to keep this series going, so bye.
Yep.
I do like her, though, saying, I'm not going to wait for you. It's like, yeah, see, we don't have to come back. She doesn't care. She's going to find a different man.
Yeah, exactly. They just kind of write her off. Like, I'm not waiting for you. Okay, bye. And like we said, never mentioned or heard of again in the series.
On Anime Planet, if anyone uses that, it's sort of like Letterboxd, but specifically for anime and manga. But she doesn't even have a fucking character picture. That's how little anyone gave a shit.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's a hard picture to find. You could, if you're watching, you could either screen capture or probably Google it. You'll find it. Nope, they couldn't even be bothered to put it in Anime Planet, which is hilarious.
Actually, to be fair, the section of this movie on Anime Planet doesn't even have every character in it.
Wow.
There's no father or the villain or anything. Just what? I don't know. Maybe it's just sort of one of those Wikipedia articles that needs to be filled out more.
Yeah, exactly.
There is also something lightly shitty about this movie.
What is it?
I know we joked about it being the same voice actors in when we were watching it, but it's not. They actually got replacements for this movie.
What, in the Japanese cast?
In the sub, yes.
Oh, I know. I was going to mention that, actually.
Oh, damn. I was just going to say, because Monkey Punch avidly said he was not involved with that, but it did strain his relationship with the original actors ever since.
Yeah, it did, and I can actually elaborate on that a little bit, because, like I said, the production studio was actually having money issues at the time. The decision that they replaced them was made just because the cast was expensive, and
Fuck off.
yeah, and some staff members at the time were not keen on his over comical performance of the character and found him too light. And it's hard for us to realize because we don't speak Japanese, so I'm sure we can't really pick up on the inflections as much. But let's see, what was it? Yeah, Toshio Fukuroka, who played him in the OVA, at first refused the offer due to the strong image of Yashio Yamada, who played Lupin, but he was kind of gaslighted into doing the performance. The other voice actors felt sorry for the regular cast who were not informed and were unaware of their performance. When it was broken out to Yashiro Yamada after its release, he complained to Monkey Punch as he was furious regarding his performance. Monkey Punch replied back, and apparently they had an argument. The next day, Monkey Punch contacted TMS, and the people involved with the decision had left, and it caused him basically to lose trust in the anime industry a bit. While the usual voice cast did return for the next one because the fan outcry was so bad, the relationship between Monkey Punch and Yashiro Yamada was very awkward until his death, even though Monkey Punch did apologize to Yamada when we next meet. Yeah, there was this huge controversy in Japan over the voice change, and it apparently strained his relationship, so it had this big repercussion on it. So we'd be remiss to talk about this movie without bringing that up, really.
And also, I'll blame the studio head since it does sound like Monkey Punch really wasn't involved.
Yeah. I think they asked for his permission to change the cast, and he said yes, but that was about his involvement until after it came out.
And it's just like, I'm sure the cast also would have taken a pay cut.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure, the characters are so iconic. I'm sure they love playing them, so.
Just shitty that it happened.
It really is, yeah. So, but yeah, they did all come back for the next movies, but yeah, that was just kind of a failed thing that happened because of that, and it had a lot of repercussions on not only the fandom, but just his relationship with the industry and the actors. So, kind of a bit of a fallout that's shitty about the movie, but fortunately, it resulted in a pretty good product. I'd say it's one I definitely respect. So,
yeah, it's. Even though the bad section went on pretty long, it's that was mostly nitpicking.
Yeah.
The only thing I do think is bad is lightly not having enough of the villain and definitely sounding like you're going to focus on Goemon and then not.
Yeah, and that's about it. Other than that, it's a very enjoyable romp. I know it's weird. We talked about equal bad, equal good in this one, but overall, I still think it's a really good movie. Definitely recommended.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing about it. Very hard movie to find because it's super out of print. So, because
the dub is technically free on YouTube, someone upload the full thing.
Yeah, but if you can find the sub, definitely do that because the dub is not great. But yeah,
hopefully sometime soon Discotek re-releases it, maybe even redubs it.
Yeah, that'd be really nice with the original cast because they did that with part 1. Actually, brought the original cast or the original English cast at least back to record everything. But yeah, it was released by Discotek on DVD once and then just never again. I don't know if it if they lost the copyright to it or they just let it lapse the rights to it, but it's never been released since and is currently out of print. So.
It's also one of the few projects where the normal musician was involved.
Oh, I forget her name. She's really good.
That is something to bring up too. The music, it's good. I enjoy it. It's fun for the chase scenes and fights and stuff. It's oddly Mario Kart would be the best way to describe it.
It is weird. There's Mario Kart and a bit of Kirby in there too.
Yeah, very positive Nintendo vibe.
Yeah, which I really dug. I really like the music. It's fun. It's not your usual Lupin music, but
it was still a good time.
Also, I thought it was a girl. It's a guy. I feel bad.
I was pretty sure it was a guy too, but I didn't know.
I don't know how we're gonna edit that.
We just admit we fucked up. It happens.
Okay, well, I fucked up. All right, but yeah, um, well, he has a cool name for his band too. What is it? The Explosion Band.
Really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
his ensemble U and Explosion Band. Sorry, before I got distracted, what were we going on about? Music.
Uh,
Music.
yeah, we were just talking about the
That's
music.
what I was gonna say. Also, the theme is actually awesome. It's very funky, very 80s.
Yeah.
Much like Goemon's wife, she's also dressed very 80s. It has a cool vibe to it.
Oh my god, I forgot about her leggings. Yeah,
Oh
she
my
has the
gosh.
weird, where it's like kind of scrunched up near the ankles.
Yeah, like almost like yeah. I don't know how to describe it. I was gonna say like gym, but they don't really do that. It was like a weird fashion thing. Like imagine one of those like
No, you're right. It was like those. It was sort of a gym spandex
yeah,
pants thing.
yeah, like like imagine one of those like poofy like things around the wrist that like classical like people in the 1700s wore, like that, but around your legs. That thing, if you didn't grow or if you didn't know, aren't familiar with that. Wow, if I can
I think they were
words.
leg warmers.
Yeah, something like that. If I can words right, wow, I just kind of went. But yeah, fun music.
Generally a fun time.
Yeah. So,
But we do have to rate every movie,
yes, we
as
do.
we've always done with the same system.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cameron,
Yes, Justin.
if you went on a pub crawl with this movie,
Mm.
what would it drink at every stop?
Ooh. Tell you what, how about you go first?
I think if this movie was a person on a pub crawl, they would go way too hard, way too fast. They'd get like a strong alcohol and they'd still be having a good time, but they're going to be out before things really get going for everyone else.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty apt comparison. I'd say like, yeah, definitely something hard. I'd say like shots would be what they would be drinking at that. But yeah, I think they'd be one of those people that goes super hard but leaves just early enough before all the chaos happens. Still shit faced though.
For all the fun happens.
Oh yeah. That was a bad word to use, wasn't it? Sorry, my brain's having a
Oh.
fun time right now.
Well, you know what?
What, Justin?
Would your brain be happier if it saw a bunch of colors spin around and make clickety noises?
You know what? I think it would be. I think that would bring me right back into it.
Well, do I have the segue for you? It is time for the whole reason of this show.
Oh, fun! I was waiting for it. Yeah, there we go.
We are still on the not director's wheel. I'm lying to you.
This is going great.
I'm really tempted to add a.
Yes.
This is the sellout wheel or the series wheel. It really depends on my mood. But we have a bunch of series on here that you have most likely heard of with movies you have seen. Thus, it will engage you more to watch the episode, unless it's Fury Road for some reason. But then you can share it with friends because they also have watched movies everyone has seen.
Exactly.
We're gonna do the thing now.
I'm so excited to do the thing.
It's time to spin.
Come on, come on.
Of course, we haven't watched this series enough. We're back to Mission Impossible.
Woo!
For those of you who've actually stuck around, you may be like, but Mission Impossible was off the wheel. You finished Fallout before there was 7 and 8. Well, yeah, but we made the cutoff point 2025. Mostly
Yes.
so we don't have to cover Scream 7, because fuck Scream 7.
Yeah.
But Mission Impossible is back, because we did this last year, and now it's back on there, and we can finish it with number 7 and then 8 later.
Yes. Don't worry, that's how they were released, about a year apart.
thank goodness
Yeah.
there is another spy series that we should probably be deeper into by this point.
Yes, there is. And we got 2
No,
spins
there
left to
isn't.
land on it.
2 spins left to land on it before we add a new rule.
Yeah.
But that will be for later. But it is now, and now is the end of the episode.
It is. Okay. Well, bye, I guess.
See you next time.
Okay.
We usually make a noise and then we'll cut it off.